Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round one of our league tournament that happened at Die Hard Games on March 27th, 2025. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. League Challenge, April 24th at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop such as league challenges, league cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. On the left, we have Dragapult. On the right, we have Walls. It looks like our Walls player has two mulligans to take, as notated by the die pips there. We see the Pokemon reveal. We're going to see a player on the right take the two cards from the top as mulligan, and then play will start over on the left on Dragapult's side as they open up with the Buddy Buddy Poffin, double Buddy Buddy Poffin. That item card allows the player to search their deck for up to two basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less to put onto the bench, times two. First Poffin finds a Dewskull and a backup Dreepy. Those hit the bench. The second Buddy Buddy Poffin will find the rest of the Dreepy family. We have four dragons on the board right now, a ghost and a plant. What kind of game is this as they resolve their double Buddy Buddy Poffin here? Getting nice and established on turn one, pass things over to our Walls player on the right with Shellos in the active spot. They then play a Buddy Buddy Poffin of their own, searching for their own Pokemon with 70 HP or less, times two to put onto the bench. Feebas and Mimikyu fit that bill, and they hit the bench now off of that. Times one Buddy Buddy Poffin. Maybe another will get played here with this Irida. Probably not, though, but we could be hopeful, right? As they play an Irida as their supporter for turn. That supporter card allows the player to search their deck for an item card and a water-type Pokemon and put those into their hand. They're eyeing up the switch. That'd be good to move the Shellos from the active to the bench and push something up like a Mimikyu. And then what water-type Pokemon? We got the Feebas out already, so going to go for the consistent Radiant Greninja card as a water type, and that'll hit the bench instantly. The switch is in the hand right now, of course, unless they're going to resolve it right this second, as they do, moving that Shellos to the bench, Mimikyu into the active spot, thanks to that classic item card there. So our player eyes up their discard, seeing where they are, finding themselves in this sequence as they check out their hand and see what's their next move. Just a pass back over to our Dragapult player on the left-hand side. Now they need Rare Candy, Dragapult, attach, Sparkling Crystal, attack. With a four-ish card hand. Either way, going to start off with a Terra Ball that allows them to search their deck for a Terra Pokemon to put into their hand, and they find the Dragapult EX. Now they need, like I said, a rare candy to evolve to it, an energy to be attached. Crispin would work as well, but we'll see what they could put together here. And I'm not seeing any of that in hand, so just a pass, then the deck out and pass back over to our Walls control player here. And that's something you do not want to do is miss a beat and give the Walls slash control deck more time or turns to put together their control of the rest of the game. Player might be talking to a judge, asking some type of ruling question or something here. It looks like action is back as they eye up their hand and try to determine the next best play of Arvin as a supporter, allowing them to search their deck for a tool card and an item card to put into their hand. Shuffle the deck afterwards, of course, before after plucking out, the Earthen Vessel and the Hero's Cape. Earthen Vessel is played now, discarding a card in order to search the deck for up to two basic energy cards to put into their hand. Double Water being found here added to the hand off of that vessel. Then Melodic EX evolves on the bench. That is a very important Pokemon in this matchup and lots of others, I guess, but particularly against Dragapult because Melodic EX has the Sparking Scales ability, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks from your opponent's Terra Pokemon done to this Pokemon. The Dragapult EX is a Terra Pokemon, so that basically cannot touch Melodic EX with its 200 attack damage nor the 6 damage counters. It also has an attack, Hypno Slash 160. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. That's something to watch out for as that Melodic is established on the board now. The Walls player is also presenting only 3 other prizes for the Dragapult. Even the Mimikyu with Safeguard, actually. The Dragapult can't attack. Mimikyu in the active spot with its Safeguard ability says prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's EX and Pokemon V. Looks like a Radiant Greninja discarded energy with its ability to draw 2 cards. Concealed cards there. Getting more options in the hand as another Earthen Vessel is played, allowing the player to search for 2 more basic energy cards from their deck to add to their hand. Thinning the deck out, also adding those resources to the hand, meaning the card advantage is real. Double water found, of course, off of this other earthen vessel. As we see what our Walls player does next, attaching a basic water energy to the bench Melodic EX, getting it ready for future turns as they pass back to our left-hand side, the Dragapult side. Dragapult player starts off with an Arven, searching their deck for an item and a tool card. Can they attack this turn? In my commentary earlier, talking about building this Dragapult and attacking, I completely missed that they can't touch the Mimikyu with the Dragapult either, so apologies for that. As they resolve this Arven and find a rare candy and sparkling crystal to add to their hand. Now we're seeing the pieces come together, but with the Mimikyu, with Safeguard in the active spot and the Melodic EX on the bench, I probably wouldn't be feeling too good as a Dragapult player here. Even if I get to this Dragapult, I've got to go through the Mimikyu and the Melodic to win, and I don't think there's any way I can get through the Melodic. Has the Dragapult player on the left, eyes up their hand, trying to put something together here. They can Rare Candy, evolve to Dusknoir, put 13 damage counters on the board, but how does that advance their win condition? I don't know, but they pass things over to our Walls player on the right-hand side, and they attach a double turbo energy from their hand to the bench Melodic EX. Its attack is powered up. Hero's Cape, that pink ace spec card, tool gets attached to the Shellos, giving it plus 100 HP with no drawback. Next, Irida is a supporter for turn, allowing the player to search for an item and a tool again, or excuse me, an item and a water type Pokemon again. Item going to be the switch once more. Ooh, and that Origin Form Palkia V. Support and attack Pokemon being found now, and the V-Star, of course, that the V will evolve into eventually. Palkia V gets put onto the bench, switch added to the hand. Basic switch allows the Melodic EX to move into the active spot as it gets ready for an attack. Radiant Greninja discards an energy with concealed cards to draw 2 more cards, and then Melodic attacks Hypno Splash 160, and your opponent's active is now asleep. Minus 40, of course, for the double turbo energy, or excuse me, minus 20 for the double turbo energy, 140 More than enough to KO the Dreepy, though. Replacement Dreepy floats into the active spot on the left, and play resumes there. Can our Dragapult player respond? There are two, three, four, maybe five prize cards they could take currently from the opponent's side of the field. But how do they get through that Melodic EX? Just depends if their deck is built respecting it or not, with tech cards to be able to respond to it or to have answers to it. We'll see if they play any now as this Golden Nest Ball is being resolved, allowing the player to search their deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. Basic Duskull put onto the bench now. And we get things shuffled up for our next action. They play something like that Blood Moon Ursaluna EX that could start to punch this Melodic EX combined with Curse Blasting, but either way, Rare Candy allows the Duskull to evolve into Dusknoir. Dusknoir uses its ability Curse Blast, knocking itself out, and then 13 damage counters go on to the Melodic EX. The opponent takes a prize card, of course, for that KO, and play resumes over on their side on the right once more. As they play an Arven, search their deck for an item and a tool. Ultra Ball is all that's needed here. Ultra Ball discards 2 cards in order to search the deck for a Pokemon, basic or evolution. That Gastrodon is found and evolved, put into play there. The Gastrodon has the Sticky Bind ability. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench Stage 2 Pokemon. Both yours and your opponents have no abilities. So coming in just a little bit too late to block that Dusknoir Curse Blast, but I don't think our Walls player on the right is too worried here. At least they prevent any future ones at this point. I wonder if they go for another Phoebos here. Got to be careful with the prize cards you put into play for your opponent. The Pokemon that, could be potential prize cards for the opponent. As a water energy is attached to the basic Radiant Greninja on the bench, and then Melodic EX takes another KO. Dreepy slides into the active spot on the left, and it looking like, yeah, our Dragapult player's had enough and offers the concession to the Walls player here for our round 1. What do you think of this video in the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our players for letting their game be captured so we can all learn and enjoy. And I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.